Wagwan people. What's poppin', what's poppin', what's poppin'? Time for another live. In this, the hell? Motherfuckers. How's everyone doing? How's everybody doing out here? So, I'm back out here in these Kenyan streets. Had a beautiful, beautiful experience in South Africa. Very, very beautiful, man. The people in South Africa are just lovely. Wagwan, Sima, Manin. People in South Africa are just lovely, man. Such wonderful moments. Such a great experience on the World Changer road trip. Yeah, man, and it just, like, every single day it was kind of like a reminder and a reaffirmation as to why I should be in Africa more and more. Like, every single day, I'm just reminded of all the positive reasons to be in Africa, to live in Africa, to work and to relate with, you know, my land, my home. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just been a wonderful, beautiful experience, and to be the person who can expose other people to such experiences is a flipping honor for me. You know, like, a lot of the people who was coming on our World Changer experience, you know, some people have never traveled to Africa before, and to be the company that gets to introduce people to the motherland is phenomenal for me, because, you know, a lot of people's issues with Africa is accessibility, and not the fact that they can't go there. It's just that the issues of, in their mind, the issues of security, the issues of, you know, feeling comfortable, or, you know, knowing what to do, where to go, who to trust, and all of those things. And, you know, this is why I set up this business, so that we can do all of that work for you, and then you could just tap in. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So to be able to, like, have people come along and just facilitate the reshifting of their mentality about the motherland, man, is just it's a huge honor for me. Yeah, my favorite place in South Africa has to be, well, currently, because I ain't traveled everywhere, but my favorite place was Soweto. Soweto's just the vibe. Soweto's got all the people, you know, the culture, the history, you know, and the passion you feel of South Africa in general, man. So, yeah, man, real beautiful. One thing that got me, though, is when I was in Cape Town. Now, Cape Town is a visually stunning place. And again, just like the Joburg and Durban, I feel like the people there are magnificent. But the one thing that struck me about Cape Town, other than the beautiful scenery, was how Europeanized the place is. The place, literally, like, my sister, I took a picture, my sister said, "Are you back in London?" Like, she thought I was in London, because it's just parts of it, a lot of it, it's very Europeanized. And when I'm there, you feel colonialism. You know, you feel it, man. You feel the separation. You feel the class. You feel the racist mentalities that are still present there. You know, you walk around the main parts of Cape Town, and especially at Western Cape, and every black person there is working. That's the only people that black people you meet are workers, or young people going to uni, and still they're not in the main area, you know. And so it's very Europeanized. So I literally got the feelings that I would feel like when I'm in London. You know, you walk into a shop, people are watching you, or people are saying certain things to you as if you're working, or speaking to you in a way like, can I help you? You know, as if, you know, you ain't supposed to be in that area, or you're not supposed to be in that environment, or whatever. Like, you know, and little sly comments that I'd hear people say that shows me the discontent that they still have for black people. Do you know what I'm saying? And the only time they treat you a little bit better is when they hear, like, for example, they hear my accent, they know I'm not from there. So then, okay, they would assume that I have money. This is the white people now, the Europeans that live there, you know? And, you know, them things, I mean, it didn't piss me off because it's to be expected, because I know about that Cape Town already. But those things are just a reminder that there's a lot of work to be done in the motherland. Yeah, it's not a perfect place. Just like anywhere in the world, it's not a perfect place. It is our place. You know, it's the place that we are from. It's the place that we, like, everything that we're made of, everything that our culture is built upon, comes from that place in the motherland. So in that way, I'm like, yo, we need to be there. We need to be going there, existing there, you know. And a lot of people who live in South Africa still feel huge injustice done to them by the Europeans that live there. You know, young, old, everybody, like, they feel the injustice, they feel the separation, they feel like something like 80% of the land in South Africa, I want you lot to hear this, 80% of the land in South Africa is owned by Europeans. Today. You see what I'm saying? Like, now, so today, in 2018, Europeans make up probably less than 10% of the people in South Africa. But those small percentage own most of the land. Today. Cool. It's an injustice. Cool. What can be done about it? For me, I'm an advocate of returning back to Africa. I'm an advocate of that. That's what I'm about, you know? Because that's an injustice to the people. And there's so many other forms of colonialism that still exists, neo-colonialism that still exists throughout Africa. And for me, the only solution I can see in the near future is by more people within the diaspora going to Africa, more people within the diaspora living in Africa, more people within the diaspora doing business-to-business transactions and that commerce with Africans themselves, i.e., you know, for example, my business, World Changer Experiences, when we stay somewhere when I bring people to Africa, know that wherever I'm bringing people, it's black owned. You understand? An African runs the hotel, the hostel, the accommodation, like, it's black owned. You know, the people who are running the excursions are black owned. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we can help it, we are patronizing African run businesses. Does that make sense? You know, I'm paying people who got startup companies. You get what I'm trying to say? Whether they be in wellness therapy, whether they be doing excursions or tours, or do you get what I'm saying? And those things are important. And those things are going to empower us as a global community. And those things will empower locals and will empower you. And those things will help to change people's accessibility on the continent. You feel what I'm saying? It's easy to say, oh, yeah, white people are in South Africa and they run things, they need to get up and leave. Like, yeah, it's easy to say shit like that, but it's not practical, which is just the truth. It's not practical right now. There has to be an exchange of power. There has to be a trade of positioning. Does that make sense? Meaning, Africans who live there need to be empowered in the industries, in the sectors that white people are currently empowered. And what white people have done, they've just monopolized a lot of things on the continent and kept Africans away from it, so that they don't even have the knowledge to run or upkeep the country to a specific standard. You get what I'm saying? Now, there's many black people around the world who study in particular industries, whether, like, you know, if you're from London or Europe or America, you know, we study in particular industries, and what we do is we stay in Europe, you know? It's people who study economics, people who study business, people who study hospitality, people who study real estate or whatever. People in all these different industries, we go to university here and we stay in Europe. That's what we do. And for me, I see the diaspora using the privilege of their education, meaning the resources that they get from living in Europe, and going back to Africa and setting up institutions that can help empower African people, those at home and those abroad at the same time. That's what I see happening, you know. And it's a for me, it's a double win, because a lot of people who go uni in London or America or Europe, for example, they leave with banging degrees, yeah, but don't do shit with it. They leave with amazing degrees. A lot of people now are overqualified. And so you settle for shit jobs with your overqualification. So you end up undervaluing yourself. Or you get the job you wanted, but you have to now be an understudy to someone who doesn't even have the same qualification as you, but they are of a different privilege or class than you, so they get the position. I'm saying all that studying you've done in England, all them degrees you've earned, all them life skills that you've been presented with from living in a Western society, but being of an African heritage, it's time that you take that and bring it to where it's most useful. And it's not just most useful for the people, but it's most useful for yourself. Meaning, what you are able to do way more with your experience and your skills that you've acquired living in the UK. You're able to do way more when you bring it to a place like Africa that is still developing, there's no ceiling on the things you can achieve in the motherland. There's no ceiling on it. Does that make sense? Like, your race is not a factor anymore. You don't have to fight through that. It's like, no, you're the norm. There's 1.5 billion of you in this space. Does that make sense? So, oh, my battery's dying. But from that perspective is what I'm saying when I say we need to go back. So I want to just encourage people, like everyone knows my position already. Like, I plan to spend no more time in the UK, you know, other than to spend time with family and make business moves. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, man. You know, I feel like from me being here and me living and growing up in the UK, I get to see both sides of the coin of what, you know, 18 to 35-year-old African people on the continent are talking about, are passionate about, are stressing about, are dreaming about. And I get to hear exactly what it is over in the UK. And my conclusion is we are the answer to each other's prayers. We are the answer to each other's prayers. And I'm sorry if I'm not articulating this well enough right now. My actions will articulate it more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just speaking off my mind right now. I didn't really plan to talk about this stuff, but I'm just speaking off my mind. But from my observation, being in the motherland and being in London, I can conclude with authority that we are the answer to each other's prayers. Meaning, the things that they stress about and go through and dream of in the continent, and the things we stress and dream about living in Western society, Europe, we are the answer to each other's prayers. You feel what I'm saying? And I know that. Before I can speak that off of intuition, now I live that experience. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And so I'm speaking from a place of authority when I say that you, whoever you are, if you are black, if you are of African descent, which we all are, okay, then you need, if you care, I mean, if freedom is your thing, if independence is your thing, if legacy is your thing, if nation building is your thing, if you want to have control over the life your children live and all of those kind of things, then Africa is the place for you, and there's no other place you should spend your time, money, resources. There's just no other place. There's none. There is none. There is none. And I'll debate that until I die. And you will see by my actions, if you haven't seen already, what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I'm having conversations with people on the ground. Yesterday, I posted up a video. It's my first time on a beach in Cape Town. I posted up a video when I was in Cape Town yesterday, and I said, dogs, from my observation, dogs get treated better than black people in Cape Town. Dogs, yes. And I got messages from South Africans who live in Cape Town saying, finally, someone has realized. Other people saying, this is what we've been saying for years, blah, blah, blah. Someone even said to me, even dogs have their own hotels. You see what I'm saying? It's horrendous, you know? And we talk about fixing up Africa, but who's gonna defend our people? Who's gonna back our people? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna support our people? One thing I notice whenever being in South Africa and being in Cape Town and stuff like that, like, people loved the fact that I was there. They loved it. They loved the fact that I'm there learning, wanting to learn Xhosa, wanting to learn Zulu, wanting to connect with the culture, wanting to spend my money, wanting to hang out, not in these fake European places, but wanting to hang out with the locals, with the Africans, where people are chilling, where the real people are at. People love that and they embrace it, you know, and they constantly encourage me to come back. They constantly encourage me to be there, to spend more time, you know. Someone even said that, yo, we are waiting for you to help us change this about our land. People have said that to me. This is a real thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just, verbal fodder. This is a real thing. People are like, our brothers and sisters are waiting for us in the diaspora to stand with them on the continent and liberate it. Where am I now? I'm in Kenya now. I'm in Kenya. So I'm not in SA anymore. I'll be back. That's it. We are the answer to each other's prayers. Yeah? We go through shit in England. We always feel misrepresented. We always feel undercut, undervalued. We always feel like there's a ceiling over our heads no matter how hard we grind. And I'm saying enough is enough with that stuff, man. Enough is enough with that stuff. Let the devil do the devil's work. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. Take what you have, take what you know, take the skills that you, like your dreams, your wildest dreams is to be made in Africa. Your wildest dreams is to be made on the continent. That's it. Your wildest dreams. What do you want? You want to build the African version of IKEA? It's here. You come and do that. What do you want? You want to change the way people eat in schools, the culinary system. You want to institute healthy eating. It's here. It's waiting for you to do that. That's what this is here for. What is it? Fitness, clothing, spirituality. Like, what is it? What is your thing? That's another thing. Like, here's another thing. Sheesh. Jeez, my battery's gonna die. So I'm gonna say this point and I'm gonna go. Here's another thing I clocked is that it is so encouraging for people on the continent. It is so encouraging for people on the continent when you are into African spirituality, for example. When you speak your mother tongue, when you are learning a mother tongue, it's so encouraging. Because for years, just like you who live in Western society, they have also been taught that their spiritual sciences are bad. They have also been taught that their African names are bad. They have also been taught that the food that they grew up eating, their indigenous food or their plant medicine practices, or all of these things, they've been taught that they are bad. So when we show up, you know, and I'm interested in learning Osa, and I don't want to call people by their Christian names. I want to call them by their names that their mother gives them. Do you get what I'm saying? Kotlatsile. You know what I'm saying? Nomatam sanga. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you are interested in learning those things, you know, and you're not coming on this, speak English bullshit, yeah? When you're coming like, yo, like, I want to learn, and you're trying to learn, it's so fucking encouraging. You're saying to the person, I respect you for who you are. You get what I'm trying to say? So, understand that, like, you know, us being in the West, we have a great power because we living in the West, we have a common enemy. We're constantly reminded that we are not from England, for example, or we're not from America. We're constantly reminded of those things. And so we band together. So we hold on dearly to our spiritual systems, our values, our principles as Africans. We hold on to them dearly. And so what you may find sometimes is that when you go to certain African countries, you will find that you are deeper into African spirituality, for example, or the knowledge of your history than some people who live on the continent. And what happens is you become the person who encourages them to dig deeper in their own self. And it's not even hard for most of them because their name will tell them everything about who they are. You get what I'm saying? Most of us living in the West, especially from Caribbean descent, you know, we don't have that. But if you look at something like reggae, you know, reggae, Rastafarianism, Jamaica gave Africa a voice in the New World. That's what it did, you know? And so, similarly, those of us who take pride, you know, and really hold our African spirituality, our principles, you know, the way of life dear to us, we become light to people on the continent who've been looking for a way to embrace that, but have felt like they are alone. Because there are people here on the continent, many people here who are doing that. But they themselves feel isolated because of the stench of colonialism that still surrounds them. They feel isolated. So often, a lot of people are getting reintroduced to themselves via African Americans, via Caribbean people. Do you know what I'm saying? Who have done the research, who have dug deep into the history, into the knowledge of Africa. So you have value. But people of the diaspora, you have value. Yeah? You have tremendous, tremendous value. And the people who live on the continent, those of you who live on the continent, who've never left, you know, you have tremendous value too. We are the equal opposites to complete the whole. Go back home. It's very important. Go back home. That's all that's all you're ever gonna hear from me until I die. This is it. This is it. This is all I ever want to say now. Go back home. Rudy Yombani. Return home. It's very, 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 very important that we do that. You know, wherever home is for you. If you're a person like me who was a descendant of African Holocaust survivors, that's what I am. You know, I'm a descendant of African Holocaust survivors. Anyone from the Caribbean, you need to make sure that people understand that. Make sure that Africans, when you come to the continent, tell them that. Because a lot of people, because because Caribbean culture is so loud and so prominent, most Africans just feel like they don't even understand the geographical location of somewhere like Jamaica. It's just another African country. A lot of times they ask me, what language do you speak in Jamaica, for example? And I have to break it down. How that shit even came about. A lot of them know because they listen to reggae, but some really don't know. You know, and it's good to break that down so people understand your purpose in the motherland, why you're there, why you're coming. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I let white people know that too, because the white people that live in these African countries, they be quick to park you off as English. I'm like, no, my friend. You're English. I'm African. Right now, we both are misplaced. So we need to trade. You know what I'm saying? I let them know. Oh, where are you from? I hear your accent. You're from England. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So where are you originally from? And I tell them, I don't know. I'm a descendant of African Holocaust survivors. That's what I am. You gotta let these white people know. You gotta let everyone know that. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm going to do a lot more lives, guys. But in my conclusion, man, go back home. If you're like me, like I was saying, if you're like me and you're a lost sheep, set your foot somewhere and let the ancestors guide your footsteps. That's what I'm doing. I didn't choose the African country that I wanted to go to. The whole land is mine to explore, and I'm doing it. Get your heritage passports. I have a Vincentian passport. It allows me to travel visa-free throughout the East African communities. So that includes places like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, I think Ethiopia as well. Get your heritage passport, whether you be Jamaican, Vincentian, it doesn't matter. I'm both. So, and they all do the same things, Caribbean community. Just travel. Let the ancestors guide your steps. Real talk. Real talk. Let the ancestors guide your steps. Set foot. You know what you want with your life. You know what dreams you have for yourself. You know the vision you have for yourself and your life. Take that vision. Keep it in your heart. And set your feet on the motherland and let the ancestors guide your footsteps to your heart's desires. It's time to let go. Like, it's really, really time to let go. Like, if we're saying, like, we can't stop talking like, oh, you know, Africa's the land, the breadbasket of the world. Africa's the land of kings and queens. Africa feeds the world. And it's got all the resources in Africa, blah, 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 like, oh, yeah, you know, everyone comes from Africa, or, you know, we gave birth to civilization, or the black woman is God, and all of it. Like, yo, if this is your rhetoric, it's time to let your feet do the talking. Stop masturbating with how great we are and just be freaking great right now. I don't want to hear about Mansa Musa anymore. I don't want to hear about Mansa Musa. I don't want to hear about Nefertiti anymore. And when I'm saying, and that's not to disrespect them, but that's the saying, we keep wanking over their legacy. Meanwhile, you have a life right now. Do you get what I'm saying? There is real billionaires out here in Africa. There is real queens out here in Africa today. You are that. Let's stop wanking on the legacy of our past as we sit in our flats in freaking East London, bruv. Let's not do that. Let's do the most to make, like my brother's saying, be. Yes. The word believe. I'm done on this because my battery's going to die anyway. Believe. If you believe in Africa, be it, live it. That's what believe is. Be and live. Stop talking. Be and live. You don't need to argue with no one. I argue with nobody. I be and I live. Be it, live it. If you believe in the continent, if you believe in God, I believe in God. Like, I really believe in God. Like, with my life. So if you believe in God, you need to step out on faith and walk in line with your heart's desires and allow the ancestors to guide your steps. Be and live it. Let's stop talking. Done. Yes, I'm in Kenya right now. I just came from Cape Town a couple hours ago. I'm in Nairobi. Be, live. Not talk, chat. Be, live. You see what I'm saying? Be, live. If you know how, like, yeah, we know how great it is, man. Be, live. Again, if you're someone who's in line with what I'm saying, all your money should go towards investing your time, your energy, your resources into your motherland and your relationship with your motherland. That's it. It's those two things, your relationship with your motherland. If you don't have a relationship with the motherland, get a relationship with the motherland. How do you start a relationship with the motherland? You don't even need to be in the motherland to have a relationship with the motherland as yet. You just need to connect with the motherland in various different ways. Start to see how the industry you are in, the sector, the service, the product, whatever it is that you are doing with your life, start to see how you can implement that with the motherland. Whether that be linking up with factories that make clothing, creating a damn factory to make clothing or products, or implementing your service and finding out what the sector that you're in is like in the country that you desire, whether it be Sierra Leone, the hell's wrong with my tongue? Sierra Leone or Djibouti, or, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, bruv. I know I talk a lot, but I'm seriously not about talking. I'm about action. Be and live. Anyway, love my people. Much love to everyone right now watching this now and later. Big up on yourself. I'm in Kenya right now. I'm enjoying the motherland. Mama Africa is speaking to me through nature. The ancestors are talking very, very loud. It's a very, very real thing, man. Very, very real thing. Wow, it's very real. It's no joke. You know, right now I'm just looking at avocado tree outside. Mother Nature. Avocado tree. Just looking at avocado tree. Looking at a guava tree. Over behind there is a sugar cane tree. Just there. That's it. What do you need? What do you need? Get what I'm saying? Anyway. Bless up, man. Much love, man. Much love to everyone, man. This is your life, man. Let's like enjoy creating it. Creator. You are a creator, man. Anyway, I'm going into preaching mode now. Thank you so much for everyone locking in and listening. And yeah. You'll more from your boy later today, tomorrow. Much love. Peace in. Hey!